Making headlines, Vice President states the prestige of the National Quran competition will be enhanced under the leadership of the President. Assistant Commissioner of Police affirms that the MPS will protect the basic rights of individuals held in custody, and IGMH issues a directive urging individuals to prevent visiting the hospital unless it is absolutely necessary. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSMNEWS in English with me, Mariam Shaushat. Vice President Hussain Mohammad Latif states the prestige of the National Quran competition will be enhanced under the leadership of President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. He made the remarks during the inaugural ceremony of the 36th National Quran competition.
Speaking at the ceremony, the Vice President stated that the National Quran competition is the most prestigious competition related to the Holy Quran in the nation, adding that the government aims to improve the competition year by year. The Vice President mentioned that one of the main goals of President Dr. Muizzu is to build a nation that embraces Islamic values. He also highlighted that there has been an increase in focus on Islamic affairs within the nation over the past 7 months. The Vice President highlighted that the government has provided opportunities for young children and Quran students to improve their Quran recitation skills and perform prayers in mosques. Additionally, the government aims to expand Quran teaching classes and provide further support and incentives to children who memorize the Quran. Speaking at the ceremony, the Vice President urged people not to view the recitation of the Quran as just preparation for competition but as an act of worship. He also encouraged everyone to make time to recite a portion of the Quran daily. He emphasized the importance of reciting the Quran properly and understanding its meaning. A total of 1,029 participants from 119 institutions will compete in the National Quran competition this year. The competition is open for all at all councils, city councils, Quran classes, and for Hafizes. As such, while a total of 365 students will compete from 52 schools, 357 individuals will participate representing their respective councils, while 292 individuals will compete from other institutions. Additionally, 15 individuals will be participating in the Hafizes category as well. The prestigious competition will take place in 2 halls of King Salman Mosque, the auditorium and the multipurpose hall. The National Center for the Holy Quran has disclosed that participants will be performing in the morning from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and in the evening from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. and during the night from 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. They further revealed that individuals who are scheduled to perform during Fridays will only perform during the evenings and nights.
Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Said affirms the government will establish a special facility to run the National Center for the Holy Quran during the current presidential tenure. The remarks were made by the minister during the inaugural ceremony of the 36th National Quran competition. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Said stated the prestigious competition was greatly educational 36 years ago. The minister noted that several students who took part in it were well trained and continue to represent the Maldives in international competitions. Highlighting that the current National Center for the Holy Quran operates in King Salman Mosque, he revealed that the government will establish facilities designated for the center during this tenure. Furthermore, Minister Shahim acknowledged that the National Quran competition is the most prestigious competition related to the Holy Quran in the Maldives, with over 1,000 participants each year. He also emphasized the importance of bringing changes to the competition and enhance it by reducing the number of participants. He also highlighted that the competition should be honorable, with individuals selected from cities and atolls to compete in the competition. Additionally, Minister Shahim affirmed that efforts are underway to hold discussions pertaining to bringing modifications on the organization of the competition, despite not bringing policy changes. Assistant Commissioner of Police Ahmad Shifan affirms that the Maldives Police Service MPS will protect the basic rights of individuals held in custody. The remarks were made by the Assistant Commissioner in a post shared on social media. In response to an article publicized which stated an individual in detention was unable to attend the need of a child due to the police officers, Assistant Commissioner Shifan revealed that the information given by the article were false. He assured all individuals under custody were never deprived of their rights as per regulations. Furthermore, he disclosed the individual mentioned in the article was given the opportunity to attend the needs of her child. China Maldivian Cultural Association (CMCA) and Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Chinese province Shandong signed an agreement on sharing cultural information between the two nations. The agreement was signed during a discussion held to discuss measures to sustain the culture and friendship between the Maldives and China. The agreement was signed by the Education and Culture Exchange Center of Shandong. CMCA revealed the agreement would pave the path to build and strengthen the cultural ties and exchange information between the youth of both nations. They further revealed that under the agreement, local students will get the opportunity to visit China and enhance their knowledge on the Chinese culture. Founder of CMCA and Chairman Mohammad Rashid stated that the strengthening of ties between the Maldives and China would be beneficial for Maldivian students and the association. During the discussion, local students inquired about Chinese culture and gained knowledge from the Chinese delegation. CMCA was established in 2015 by private organizations and aims to promote the culture and learn the language of Maldives and China while strengthening bilateral relations. Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital urges individuals to prevent visiting the hospital unless it is absolutely necessary. The directive was issued as several pilgrims that returned from Hajj pilgrimage who visited the Hajj clinic of IGMH showed symptoms of cold. Hence, the hospital has taken important measures for the safety of patients, the staff and the community. Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital urged individuals to reduce the number of visits to the hospital and to refrain from visiting unless it is necessary. They emphasized the importance of reducing the duration spent in the hospital during visits and to wear masks, especially if showing symptoms of cold. IGMH underscored the crucial importance of societal support to reduce the widespread of communicable diseases, especially during this period where several infectious diseases continue to spread. The diseases spreading throughout the community increased following the Hajj season and the return of the pilgrims. To provide medical treatment to the pilgrims, IGMH commenced services of the flu clinic on June 26th. The clinic is situated in the consultation room 10 near Louis Boyne Takeaway in the hospital. Hospital revealed that the clinic will provide blood test samples daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. While IGMH has established a health facility designated for Hajj pilgrims, Health Protection Agency HPA has also cautioned against the spread of invasive meningococcal disease. HPA has revealed that Maldives has swiftly responded to a case of meningococcal disease by identifying and providing antibiotic prophylactic medicine to 46 contacts associated with the case. HPA further emphasized the significance of vaccination in preventing the disease. The meningitis vaccine requires about 2 weeks to build immunity, making it crucial for individuals, especially pilgrims, to get vaccinated well in advance. Therefore, the agency advised anyone showing symptoms less than 14 days after vaccination or who has not been vaccinated to seek immediate medical attention. This year, a total of 1,150 pilgrims embarked on the holy journey of performing Hajj pilgrimage. Out of these, 1,149 individuals performed the pilgrimage. Controller General of Immigration Mohammad Shamman declares expatriates operating own businesses without permits will be deported as per regulations.
The Maldives Immigration has launched a joint operation in collaboration with the Maldives Police Service (MPS) to identify illegal immigrants across the nation. Under this operation, several immigrants have been brought to the custody of the Maldives Immigration. In a post shared on social media regarding the operation, Controller General Shaman revealed that several self-employed expatriates without valid permits and those involved in activities outside the permitted activities have been identified during the operations. He affirmed that illegal expatriates will be deported as per Maldives Immigration Act. Underscoring the commitment of President Dr. Mohammad PSMNEWS to address the issue of illegal immigrants in the nation, Shamman stated that the immigration will ensure the fulfillment of this pledge responsibly. The current administration has been exerting efforts to resolve this issue. As such, the ongoing operations aim to identify and deport all illegal immigrants with no relevant documents. During the first day of the operation, several areas within the Greater Malé region have been investigated and approved. As such, MPS disclosed that they have observed some local markets and other areas as well. Under the operation, 50 immigrants who did not have the relevant documents are currently under the custody of the immigration.
US stocks end weaker after an early rally fizzled as investors digested in-line inflation data and weighed political uncertainty after the US presidential debate.
Nike had its steepest one-day fall in over 2 decades after a gloomy forecast. Anne Milotti, Allspring's head of active equity, said that she does not think that the inflation number changes much because the Federal Reserve has been pretty serious about the 2% target and remains disciplined. Data showed US monthly inflation was unchanged in May, an encouraging development after strong price increases earlier this year raised doubts over the effectiveness of the Fed's monetary policy. The Commerce Department report also showed consumer spending rose marginally last month, fueling optimism that the US Central Bank could engineer as much desired soft landing for the economy. LSEG Fed Watch data showed bets on a rate cut in September rose to 66% after the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index release. Traders have maintained bets on 2 cuts despite Fed projections of just 1 this year, as they hope inflation will keep cooling. Thomas Martin, senior portfolio manager at Global Investments, said that the debate between US President Joe Biden and Republican rival Donald Trump also weighed on the stocks, citing the incumbent's shaky performance. San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly acknowledged the cooling inflation and noted that it is good news that policy is working. Fed Governor Michelle Bowman said the central bank would follow its own path as its inflation goal has yet to be reached.
A senior official of the Hamas, Osama Hamdan, says that there has been no progress in ceasefire talks with Israel over the Gaza war. Hamdan told a news conference in Beirut that the Palestinian group is still ready to deal positively with any ceasefire proposal that ends the war. Arab mediators' efforts backed by the United States have so far failed to conclude a ceasefire, with both sides blaming each other for the impasse. Hamas says any deal must end the war and bring full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza, while Israel says it will accept only temporary pauses in fighting until Hamas, which has ruled Gaza since 2007, is eradicated. Hamdan also blamed the US for applying pressure on Hamas to accept Israel's conditions. He further reiterated that Hamas is ready to deal positively with any proposal that secures a permanent ceasefire, a comprehensive withdrawal from Gaza Strip, and a serious swap deal, referring to a potential swap of hostages held in Gaza for Palestinians in Israeli prisons. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, the Israeli offensive has so far killed nearly 38,000 people and has left the heavily built-up coastal enclave in ruins. The Gaza Health Ministry does not distinguish between combatants and non-combatants, but officials say most of the dead are civilians. Palestinian health officials said Israeli military strikes across the enclave had so far killed at least 35 people and wounded others. The Israeli military announced the death of 2 soldiers killed in combat in northern Gaza as Israeli forces pressed on with an offensive in the Shejaya neighborhood in Gaza City. Residents said tanks advanced deeper into several districts, including the area around the local market, and there was heavy fire from the air and the ground. The armed wing of Hamas and the allied Islamic Jihad reported fierce fighting, saying fighters fired anti-tank rockets and mortar bombs against the forces operating there. More than 8 months into Israel's air and ground war in Gaza, militants continue to stage attacks on Israeli forces operating in areas that the Israeli army said it had gained control over months ago. Israeli leaders have said in the past week that the intense phase of the war is approaching its end and that the next stage of the offensive will mainly be smaller-scale operations meant to stop Hamas from reassembling. According to Palestinian medical officials and residents, Israeli forces operating in several districts in Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip killed between Palestinians and forces families living in the far western edge of the city along the coastal areas to head northwards. President Joe Biden embarks on a series of fundraising events across 2 states as he works to stamp out a crisis of confidence in his re-election campaign following an acknowledged poor debate performance that dismayed his fellow Democrats. Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will visit the upscale New York beach enclave known as the Hamptons for a campaign fundraiser hosted by hedge fund billionaire Barry Rosenstein. Later in the day, he will travel to New Jersey for a fundraiser hosted by wealthy New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, a Democrat. Fellow hedge fund founder Eric Mindich and his Tony Award-winning producer wife Stacey, celebrity couple Sarah Jessica Parker, and Matthew Broderick and actor Michael J. Fox are all listed as members of the host committee at the New York event, according to an invitation seen by Reuters. Biden told a rally in North Carolina he intended to defeat Republican rival Donald Trump in the November presidential election, giving no sign he would heed calls from Democrats who want him to drop out of the race. Biden's verbal stumbles and occasionally meandering responses during the debate heightened voters' concerns that the 81-year-old might not be fit to serve another 4 term. The Biden campaign said it had raised more than $27 million between debate day through Friday evening, but questions remain about whether the debate performance will hurt fundraising, at least in the short term. India wins the T20 World Cup title in dramatic and emotional fashion with Virat Kohli starring in a thrilling 7-run victory over South Africa at Kensington Oval. India secured their second T20 World Cup title with a gripping victory over South Africa in the final held in Barbados. Virat Kohli's stellar performance, scoring 76 runs, propelled India to a formidable total of 176-7. Despite Henrik Klaasen's offensive 52 of 27 balls for South Africa, their chase fell short as India showcased exceptional bowling and fielding. Hardik Pandya's impressive figures of 320, particularly his death bowling, were crucial in restricting South Africa to 169-8. This victory marks India's first major title since the 2013 Champions Trophy, ending an 11-year wait. However, it also signaled the end to an era with Virat Kohli announcing his retirement from T20 internationals, skipper Rohit Sharma also stepping down from the format, and coach Rahul Dravid departing. Kohli, who had struggled throughout the tournament, delivered his best performance when it mattered the most. India faced a challenging start, slipping to 34-3 after Sharma won the toss and opted to bat. Kohli's assured display steadied the innings, ensuring India set a competitive target. South Africa's chase gained momentum with contributions from Quinton de Kock and Tristan Stubbs. Klaasen's onslaught in the 15th over, where he scored 24 runs off Axar Patel, brought South Africa within reach of victory. However, Pandya's dismissal of Klaasen and Jasprit Bumrah's economical 18th over, conceding just 2 runs, turned the tide. With South Africa needing 20 runs off the final 2 overs, Arshdeep Singh's masterful penultimate over allowed only 4 runs. Pandya then held his nerve in the final over, aided by Surya Kumar Yadav's breathtaking boundary catch to seal the win. For Rohit Sharma, the victory was a culmination of years of hard work and overcoming near misses. South African captain Aiden Markrams expressed his disappointment but took pride in the team's campaign, which saw them reach their first World Cup final after breaking a streak of 7 semi-final defeats in both World Cup formats. Switzerland coach Murat Yakin says he wanted to enjoy his team's comprehensive 2-0 win over Italy in the last 16 at Euro 2024 before he turns his mind to the quarter-final against England or Slovakia. The Swiss outplayed the defending champions with another clinical performance at the tournament. Yakin told reporters that the team won an important game and that's what's crucial. He added that the team will continue preparations to face their next opponent. When the coach was asked whether he had expected Italy to play so poorly, Yakin stated that sticking to their usual system and keeping players in their positions was enough to beat Italy. He added that the team kept them busy and put them under pressure. Switzerland midfielder Ruben Vargas, named player of the match, said his team were aggressive right from the start of the game. Goals in each half from Remo Freuler and Ruben Vargas sealed a comfortable victory for the efficient Swiss, who move on to a quarter-final meeting with either England or Slovakia in Düsseldorf on July 6th. Swiss fans left the Olympia Stadion in Berlin delighted and are now looking forward to the next round, while Italy fans admitted Switzerland's superiority and are now placing their hopes in the next generation of Italian football players. Italy coach Luciano Spalletti made 6 changes to his starting lineup, but instead of instilling energy and creativity into the team, they looked disjointed and without invention and barely managed a shot on goal. This win was Switzerland's 9th win over the Italians in 62 attempts and their first since 1993. Defending champions Italy head home after exiting before the quarter-final stage of the European Championship for the first time in 20 years. Two NASA astronauts will stay longer at the International Space Station ISS as engineers troubleshoot problems on Boeing's new space capsule that cropped up on the trip there.
NASA did not set a return date until testing on the ground was complete and said the astronauts were safe. Veteran NASA test pilots Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams blasted off a broad Boeing Starliner capsule for the orbiting laboratory on June 5th. It was the first astronaut launch for the Boeing after years of delay and setbacks. The test flight was expected to last a week or so, enough time for Wilmore and Williams to check out the capsule while docked at the station. But problems with the capsule's propulsion system used to maneuver the spacecraft prompted NASA and Boeing to delay the flight home several times while they analyzed the trouble. They also wanted to avoid conflicting with spacewalks by station astronauts. But a spacewalk this week was cancelled after water leaked from an astronaut's spacesuit. The issue hasn't been resolved and the planned spacewalk next week was postponed. As Starliner closed in on the space station a day after launch, last-minute thruster fails almost derailed the docking. 5 of the capsule's 28 thrusters went down during docking, all but 1 thruster was restarted. Starliner already had 1 small helium leak when it rocketed into orbit and several more leaks sprung during the flight. Boeing said this week that the 2 problems aren't a concern for the return trip. In delaying the astronauts' return, NASA and Boeing said they needed more time to collect information about the thruster trouble and leaks while the capsule was docked. Both are in the service module, a unit attached to the capsule that burns up during re-entry. NASA initially said that Starliner could stay docked at the space station for up to 45 days due to battery limits. Stitch said that, however, in-flight tests have shown that the limit can be extended. Officials said they won't set a return date while they do ground tests of capsule thrusters in the New Mexico desert, which were expected to last a couple of weeks. They want to try to replicate the situation that occurred during docking. Stitch said the astronauts could return to Earth in Starliner in the case of a space station emergency. After the space shuttle fleet retired, NASA turned over astronaut rights to private companies. Elon Musk's SpaceX has made 9 taxi flights for NASA since 2020. NASA plans to alternate between SpaceX and Boeing in ferrying crews to and from the space station.
Well, that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more news updates. Have a good day. Goodbye.